Hi, I'm Charlotte, and today I'll be sharing with you all about the learning theory of constructivism. I will also be sharing with you my own personal beliefs on teaching and how I believe children learn best. I will then be relating this to the constructivism theory and how we can integrate this into the classroom. As we know, this theory focuses on the belief that learning is an active, constructive process. Our students are working and constructing their own representations of what we are teaching them. In this presentation, I will share with you the ways in which this theory connects with classroom practice, while also touching on the strengths and limitations of constructivism approach to teaching. I will begin this presentation by going through my own personal beliefs and values on teaching and how I believe we can truly support and enhance children's learning journey. In my experience as a teacher, I found it vital to see children as an individual with unique needs and abilities. I am a firm believer in active learning and children being hands-on in the classroom. I see my role as an educator to be a constant base of support and to be my students' guide through their own individual learning experiences. I feel that my role is one of many that will influence a child through their construction of knowledge, and I highly value the role of families and the community. I believe in making learning fun. In my own experience, I believe a classroom that is enjoying their learning is the most successful. Linking my own beliefs to the constructivism learning theory, I can see a lot of connections. The constructivism theory believes in active learning, children being hands-on, exploring, problem-solving, observing, and experimenting. I believe that the teacher's role should be to facilitate and guide children's learning rather than just being a source of knowledge. The constructivist theory also looks into children creating their own concepts of the world around them and building upon their own prior knowledge. Vygotsky believed that children learn best through social constructivism, where they build upon their cognitive development through their interactions with their peers and adults. Constructivism is a theory about how we learn and the thinking process rather than about how a student can memorize and recite a quantity of information. The strengths of using a constructivism learning approach are as follows: social interactions, independence, student-centered learning, active learning, flexibility, community, and meaningful learning. As discussed earlier, the constructivism theory believes in peer-assisted learning. Through group activities and discussions, children are building upon their social development, creating positive relationships, all while gaining and sharing knowledge. Through the constructivism theory, children are encouraged to build upon their pre-existing knowledge and construct their own learning. This supports building strong self-esteem and independent minds. The constructivism theory is very student-centered, meaning students are able to construct their own learning, therefore are more likely to gain meaning from it and retain information. Active learning will also increase the children's enjoyment in a class as they are not just being sat down and spoken to, but rather heavily involved in what is happening in the classroom. The constructivism theory also allows a lot of flexibility within the classroom as you are guided by how the children want to further their learning and follow their interests and abilities. Having community involvement in the classroom allows the children to be introduced to different influences, experiences, and support systems. The community involvement will allow the children to gain a greater sense of the world and gain their own meaning from it. Limitations of the constructivism theory could involve the following: problems with group dynamics, safe learning environments, sticking to the curriculum, and time management. Group activities are a great way for children to share and gain knowledge. However, there are children that struggle within social interactions. Group situations can also be distracting. So when planning group experiences, it is important to think about who works well with who and who may need some extra assistance. Freedom within the students' learning environment to construct their own knowledge is a great strength of the constructivist theory. However, if the child does not feel safe or secure in their environment, they will not have the confidence to explore and engage and further their own learning. As a teacher, we do have a curriculum to stick to. With constructivism learning, this can sometimes be tricky as we are allowing the children to construct their own learning which may not always align with the curriculum we have been given. This can then lead to time management issues. We may plan out a class and have everything organised as to what we wish to achieve for the day. However, if we then follow a child's lead on a different topic, the plan changes. Now we can look at how we incorporate this into the classroom. If we visualise a constructivist classroom, we might see group experiences, collaboration, exploration, problem solving and discovery, building upon prior knowledge, and student-centered learning. Peer-assisted learning and group experiences is a great way to involve the constructivism learning theory into your classroom. This can be done with partnerships, small groups, or activities that involve the whole class. These kinds of activities also encourage collaboration. Collaboration between students should always be encouraged. Collaboration is also important between yourself as the teacher and your students. Involving exploration and discovery experiences and activities where the children are able to move around the classroom, go outside, or look through different resources and technologies is another great way to bring constructivism into your planning. Encourage them to find their own answers and build upon their own beliefs and understandings. Through your teaching experiences, you'll become aware of some of your students' prior knowledge. This can be a great tool for creating your lesson plans as you focus on student-centered learning. By using children's prior knowledge as a base for your teaching, encourages children to continue on their own path of discovery and further build upon their knowledge. Within the curriculum, planning activities that can be student-led will encourage the children to take on responsibility for their own learning and encourage independence and a sense of self-worth. In conclusion, I believe that the constructivist learning theory is an excellent tool to incorporate active learning into your classroom. Active learners are involved learners who are interested in building upon their prior knowledge and experiences. By giving children the freedom to construct their own knowledge, you are giving them your trust and encouraging them to be confident and independent learners who will turn into confident and independent adults. Collaborate with your children and be a guide in their learning. Your classroom should be a team who are all exploring and discovering together. Plan and encourage for group experiences and social interactions. The constructivist learning theory shows you the importance of sharing and gaining knowledge with peers, adults, and the community. And lastly, try to keep learning fun. A fun environment will create students who are enjoying their learning and will be keen and willing participants in their learning journey. So thank you for listening, and I hope you can all incorporate some constructivism learning theory into your classroom. Thank you.